Let's take you back to one of our top stories. 4 people charged with murder and attempted murder in the multiple shootings that took place in Khayelitsha over the weekend are set to remain behind bars until their next court appearance on the 2nd of June. 11 people had initially been arrested in connection with the multiple shootings in that township. They've appeared in the local magistrate's court today. 13 people were killed on Saturday in a series of attacks in Khayelitsha. The suspects were arrested at a Sea Point hotel on Monday. eNCA reporter Ronald Masinda is joining us live from outside the local courthouse. Ronald, sum up events in court a short time ago.
Well, good afternoon, Temekile. Apologies for the audio issues earlier on, but during this hour we were supposed to speak to a community leader here in Khayelitsha, who has since not allowed us to speak to him in front of camera. He says he fears for his life, and he's under the impression, Temekile, that the men who carried out the shootings that took place on Saturday, not everyone was arrested. He feels that the police didn't do their jobs properly in just charging 4 people for the murder. We do know that investigations are, of course, ongoing. But today, 3 men linked to Saturday's shooting appeared here at the Khayelitsha Magistrates Court. One of the men, Temekile, is also linked to a shooting, a mass shooting that took place in Khayelitsha last day in March, where 7 people were gunned down in an illegal tavern. And this has, of course, escalated fears among many people who live in one of South Africa's biggest township, which is Khayelitsha. Many people say that, criminals are just going about the extortion rackets without much arrest, without much convictions. This is in contrast to what the police commissioner here in the province said during this weekend, where we spoke to him following the shootings, where he said over 105 people have been arrested who are involved in extortion rackets.
And these extortion rackets that you mentioned, do we know how far their links go in the communities, especially because, as you were saying, you were meant to speak to a guest this hour who at the last minute said to you he was simply too afraid to come on air with us?
I think what is scary and what we've been hearing on the ground is that a lot of these extortion rackets are carried in many parts of the Western Cape, not only here in Khayelitsha, but also in other townships in Cape Town. And much of the shootings or the killings are between rival gangs, people who want to extort certain businesses, especially foreign national shop owners who've also been targeted by many criminals. We did report, of course, out of the 13, 4 3 Somalian and 1 Ethiopian were also gunned down during the attacks on Saturday. But what is even more scary is also the report that several of those who were either shot or killed or injured were not even involved in any criminal activity. But investigations are still ongoing. We do know that the victims are at the ages of 24 to 59, and also one of the victims is believed to be an elderly lady.
Ronald Masinda live for us outside that court in Cape Town.